Hey guys, in this video, we're going to actually address a question from one of the YouTubers. So Pete, this is kind of for you. Thank you again, Bruiser, for letting me use your account to do this. It's a budget unkillable trying to squeeze in Ninja. But because we have Fahraken the Fat and Fane on this team, and it's not a 2-for-1, it's a budget unkillable, now it's an experiment. So we're going to kind of look at all the hardships of trying to fit Ninja into it. Hopefully I will do that work for you and now make it a little easier. And can he outperform when he's not going 2-for-1? Because he's amazing if you can get him going 2-for-1. One of the best in the game. But can he outperform somebody like Fahraken the Fat with that allied attack? We'll get the answer at the end of the video. I'm going to try to keep it streamlined. Again, thank you guys for subbing. Keep them coming, please. I appreciate it. It's the only way I can grow is you guys. So just click the button. Take a minute. Make a YouTube channel so you can actually sign in and comment. I appreciate these things. They push the algorithms. You guys are the best. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this show. Hey guys, Fuse back at it again on Raid Shadow Legends, and really I'm doing this for a viewer. So Pete, I believe, Peter, you were asking about putting Ninja into this budget unkillable team I did for Bruiser, and thank you, Bruiser, for letting me get back on and try to fit Ninja in. So this is going to be exciting because we're actually going to see if Ninja can outperform a very good allied attack on Clan Boss, and at the same time see if we can fit Ninja into this team. Now let's real quick look at the team. We don't have to waste much time. This was the team that has a Warcaster and Maneater. You could use Warcaster, could be Tower, it could be Sir Nick, but Warcaster and Maneater, and instead of using Painkeeper, it uses Apothecary to speed up the team. These are some fairly low speeds on your DPS. And then before we were using Frozen Banshee and somebody else, Rosin, I think. Well, he's moved on since then. We've got Fahraken the Fat and Fane to up his damage. He's getting 41 million on Ultra Nightmare with 1 key, which is amazing for a budget unkillable team like this. I highly suggest if you can make this team that you go ahead and do it. It's an amazing team. But to get Ninja into it, a couple of speeds had to change, not dramatically, which is pretty impressive. I haven't successfully ran it. We're going to do this together. But all I had to do was up his Maneater was at 255. We got him to 260. It has to be exact. Some of these speeds are so exact that we're going to talk about speed sets, by the way. So let me get into the actual fight. And let's set up his team. Or I have it set up. We'll talk about, why am I going to Doom Tower? I'm so trained to go into Doom Tower lately, trying to keep up with it. So Ultra Nightmare will want to beat 41 million. This is his normal team. So we're going to go to the new team using Ninja. And we're going to look in here and explain exactly how Ninja fits in. So Ninja does change a few things. Like I say, let's look at our speeds now with Ninja. Maneater has to be exactly 260, and I'm doing this with 3 speed sets. When you use the calculator, you get a true speed. His true speed is 260.27. That will work. I'm going to check. Yeah, without the speed sets, it looks like it would work, but you've got to hit 260 with your Maneater. It's really not too bad considering other teams are worse. Warcaster. Now, Warcaster was running perfectly at 217 speed, but he was doing it with a speed set, and that threw this is so exact. You have to have no speed sets and be 217. It's so important on him. The speed is just ridiculously critical on pretty much all these heroes. Just treat it that way. So no speed sets. 217 has to be his true speed. Getting that with speed sets could be tough, but you'll have to use a calculator. There's a lot of people who will help you, including me, if you're struggling getting that, but it has to be 217. I can't stress it enough. Apothecary 130 dead on, Ninja 207 dead on, and your other DPSer, whether it's Fane or whoever, 157, 158 seems to be just fine either way. These speeds are so low, you're not going to need speed sets. In fact, I upped your damage, Bruiser, because Fane, she had speed boots halfway rolled up. Well, I just put her in some attack boots with speed rolls on it, and she's going to do a lot more damage, more crit rate. So those are your speeds. Now, you have to have a stun target, and the setup is different to do this with Ninja. Also, let's talk about Masteries. Ninja cannot have defensive Masteries that give him counterattacks. The A1s will throw this off. He doesn't need Arcane Celerity or anything that's going to speed up his turn meter in his Masteries. So I would avoid the defense tree. Go ahead and keep him high on accuracy and everything. But he's so tricky. I don't even give him It may be okay, but I didn't even give him the ability to reset a cooldown every now and then. I just want him to do exactly what the calculator says. And also, you cannot bring him in with an allied attack because the A1s will change his speed. It will change his turn meter too much for the tune that I found. So he's got to be 207 and needs nothing that changes his rotation. That's the way to go here. Now the question is, can he outperform an allied attacker? We're going to find out together. Another thing you need to know. I hope you watch this right through to the end. This is also important. You're going to have on this setup a stun target for 2 stuns. They have to take the stun twice. Whoever it is, it's going to be Fane for us. They need to be able to lose the most HP, so they need very low defense for the first 2 stuns. They need to be your stun target. If they have too much HP or too much defense, they're not going to be that stun target. And then the second anybody else on this team gets hit, except for Ninja, but he won't because he's going to be under a veil so often. Ninja could be the stun target, but it's not going to happen. So you need a designated stun target just for 2 stuns. The rest of the time, this is affinity friendly and ready to go. There may be issues on affinity though. If the right affinity is up that doesn't want to hit Fame because of her affinity, you may have to swap somebody in or out. But the speeds are so manageable, 158, it'd be easy to replace her. That's something to keep in mind. So we'll talk about my setup. Fane is a relatively difficult stun target because she can heal with her A3. So what I'm doing is putting it off by having her open with her A2. She'll use her A3 while she's still pretty much full health, so it won't affect me. And then she won't use it again because of her stuns until she's after the second stun. That lets me make Fane my stun target on full auto. If you do not heal with your stun target, nothing to worry about. If it's Frozen Banshee or Rosin, just make sure that they are your stun target. Rosin would be difficult because of his defense, just to let you know. Warcaster is going to do everything by the book on AI, but he needs to turn off his A2 because it does less damage than his A1. Maneater will simply pick an opener out of his A1 or his A2, doesn't matter, and then he'll be full auto after that. He needs to use Ancient Blood on the second turn, so pick one of these as your opener, you're good to go. Now, Apothecary doesn't need to heal. This is an unkillable team. He's going to do more damage by hitting with 3 hits and getting Giant Slayer procs. He will use Boon of Speed right out of the gate, so just turn off his A2 and he's ready to go. Ninja's going to do everything by the book. So I really hope this works. Let's just watch through the 2 stuns because Fane is a tricky one to make a stun target. But afterwards, we'll just enjoy this, see if it can beat 41 million. I really have no idea. Literally have not ran this team yet. Other than a couple fails, I figured out about the speed sets. So basically, we're wanting her to use her heal on her next move. And then she won't use it again until, there we go. We're using it now when it doesn't really matter. We'll take a big hit. She should be my stun target. A crit could throw this off. It's tough to make a good stun target, but it's only for 2 stuns. That's all we got to get through. There's the first stun, just like we wanted. And this will sync up. It will be safe after turn 5, but it will sync up after turn 7. After turn 7. So then we'll just watch this through and hope that Ninja can outperform all the damage that the entire team does. I know Fane is going to be a little bit stronger the way I built her. So here comes our next stun. It looks like it's going to be Fane, which is absolutely wonderful. She didn't use her healing move, but well, yes, she did, but it wasn't too much. We're supposed to be safe if everything is tuned right now. So at turn 7, we want Maneater to end. We're unkillable. Maneater should end this with... He didn't, not on this one. Oh yeah, we're unkillable here, but we're going to go out of it on turn 8. Something got out. Okay, so Ninja is strange. You're in this composition, we'll have to make sure his number 1 priority is Cyan Slash because this reduces the cooldown of his Hellburn. We need him to use A3, A2, A1. He's not using his A1 in the setup on full auto. And we need that A1 to hit in place. And then we need him to use Cyan Slash when it's up because sometimes it will overlap with Hellburn. I think that'll fix it. Everything else is what we showed. I don't know. He's tough to crack sometimes, but hopefully this works. Let's just watch. Make sure our stun goes twice on Fane, and then we'll watch it through. I had to slow it down and see what was actually happening. And what it is he's not getting their Science Slash. He's not getting his A1 before the stun. Now we'll get that boost of the A1 before the stun, which will be his next turn. And I think by prioritizing Science Slash, when both are up, we'll be able to keep him in sync. There was an A1, so now we took the stun where we wanted. He went second that time. That's where I think it was going wrong. You can probably even go back and look for yourself. I believe that's what was happening. Now, if it'll stay in sync, Science Slash instead of the A2, even though the A2 is probably his best move, we've got to keep him in sync. So we made it through. We need the stun to land on Fane, and only because it's Fane is this difficult, but it did hit. So let's watch this. Hopefully it works out. I'll be ready to stop it on auto in case it doesn't. But I think we've got all the kinks worked out. All these little things are important. So we're going Unkillable. That didn't seem to be the right time. That's good. Okay, this is where it goes into sync. Now we're going to watch it through. Okay, so it worked. So let's start with the part experiment of this. on a budget unkillable team, which I do believe this is the best one you can make. If you have good gear, it can do a lot of damage, but it's affinity friendly. It's tougher to do with Ninja, but he can do it. Is Ninja better than an allied attack on a budget unkillable team? Looks like he's not. He's pretty close. And there might be some RNG. Some of these people are in toxic gear, but it's really tough to make it work. But this is a good team. If you have Ninja and don't have Fahraken the Fat or an allied attacker, then he could be one of your best bets to throw in with somebody that can decrease defense and weaken, especially if it's somebody like Fane who could throw some poisons out. So Ninja did do 16 million damage with no poisons of his own compared to Fane at 6 million, Warcaster just under 6 million. So, you know, Maneater with 4.5, 2 from Apothecary. So it didn't break that 41 million. I will say I'll put your team back together, Bruiser, because I have improved on Fane and on Warcaster. They're going to do more damage. So I think you're going to break 41 million now, or at least more consistently. But Pete, so you were trying to get Ninja in on your team. If that is your best option, then this works. Here are the things to summarize, and remember, it's like super important. Your true speed on Maneater has to be 260 exactly. I used 3 speed sets, so I know that got me to 260 with 3 speed sets perfectly. Warcaster, I actually struggled with him. I failed several times. He has to be at his true speed. Let's get back to the team. I can show all this a whole lot easier. It is definitely a good team, though. Definitely a good team. So we'll go to battle. Here's our team. Let's go to the setup. Okay, so starting with Maneater again, I used 3 speed sets to get my true speed at. Matter of fact, if I pull it up, the true speed is 260.27. That's how critical this guy is. So at 260, you're probably going to use speed sets. So I would go ahead and use 3 of them. I'll show the Masteries in a second. Apothecary, Fane, everybody else, I kept out of speed sets to make sure that my numbers were exactly like the calculator. 158, I do believe 157 will work for your slow DPS. Warcaster's got to be 217. Again, no speed sets on him. You just have to check if you're using speed sets. You have to see if you have to adjust anything. I can help if you need it. Apothecary 130, super easy speed to get. And Ninja has 1 speed set, 2 perception sets. So they do boost speed a little bit. His true speed is 207.29. It's that critical. It really is. But at 207, using a speed set and 2 perception sets, that's how we got to where we are. Just so you know, we had to turn on Science Slash as his #1 priority. He had to prioritize it. Otherwise, his A1 wasn't going off when we needed it. It's that tricky. Now, unlike my team where I'm going 2 for 1, he's always the first and last. Like, it doesn't matter. He can use anything he wants, but that's a whole different team. So if you're going to use Ninja, those are the things to remember. Do not give him the defensive stats for counterattacks. The A1 will mess things up. Don't bring in an ally attacker for your other DPSer. That will mess him up by using his A1. Other than that, he's actually really solid. He pulled 16 million on this. He shines more when you're getting more turns per clan boss's turn. So he really, I mean, he's one of the best in the game. He got me to a 1 key on my team goes 2 for 1 again. That's a different story, but he's not allowed to ramp up as good as he could on this team simply because there's not enough turns and he has to prioritize this. But this is important. Turn it on to be able to use him. Fane, if you have her, she is a nightmare to make a stun target. You do need a stun target for the first 2 turns. Warcaster, everything's ready to go on him. I just turn his A2 off because I get more damage. Maneater just uses his A1 or A2 as his opener. Then everything's normal. And again, Apothecary doesn't need to heal. So just turn it off to get more damage out of him. All right, so it took a lot more work than I thought it would. So hopefully I've done the work so it's easier for you guys. But this will fit Ninja into your budget unkillable because you don't always have all these other champions. Fahraken the Fat does outshine him, though. So something worth noting. Anyways, guys, thank you for sitting through it. Don't forget to subscribe, like if you like it. I'm on Rumble as well as YouTube. And until next time, enjoy the grind.